What up, what up? Whoop, whoop. Got a special video? Not really. 3 training days in one video. That's right. This was from Thursday. You're looking at some incline bench here. This was 3 sets at 15. This was a very manageable 35 pounds. I did want to grab the 37.5s. Actually, I wanted the 40s, but I don't know. I kind of felt a little weak sauce this early in the morning. This was like at 7:30. So I just grabbed the 35s. They were fine. Eventually we'll get to the 40s, I hope. And hopefully they'll look as strong and as smooth as this. Do pardon if you hear a bunch of babbling in the background. That's my son. He likes to talk to himself just like his mother. So yeah. Incline bench, dumbbell bench. I'm really glad that this template has 2 variations of the option for incline bench in it, because I realize I have not been training this style of bench nearly as much, and I kind of like it. Some cable rows. Didn't have the chance to do them from the floor for the flexion style, so I put 2 bumper plates underneath my feet. So it's 2 45s per each foot. Gives you that opportunity to still get that deep, nice stretch at the end of it. I use the mag grip when normally I would have opted for something that I could put my straps around to really focus on the movement instead of my grip. But this was already on the machine, and I was too lazy and couldn't be bothered to go grab something else. As you can see, though, it worked fine. 10 was the minimum reps for this particular set, but it was probably all I needed because my back was still kind of taxed from the training session on Tuesday. But I imagine that if I had used a different kind of implement, maybe I could have gotten a couple of more reps. Something I don't like. Curls. Preacher curls. But I did them. 3 sets of 10. This was the last set. They were okay. They just aren't my favorite movement. Trying to really focus on getting slow at the bottom, fully extending, and just, getting comfortable with them. I just don't know what more to say about curls, except that it always freaks me out that people love them so much and I hate them. It's like, am I doing something wrong? Maybe I'm just not really a lifter. It's not that. It's just, people like what they like. I like big compound movements, not crazy about accessories, but I do them because I know their value. But you can see from my face that I'm obviously, not set up to be a fitness model. But yeah, preacher curls got done. This was today being Saturday. Belt squats, sitting in the stretch. Did 3 sets of these. Did not go super heavy on them because my knee was being a little bitch. But we used our knee sleeves, and everything felt fine. I just got really tight, made sure that I squeezed my booty, made sure that I had my quads tense, and I couldn't feel anything. It felt good. I'm not even sure how I screwed up my knee. I think it was from walking, if you can believe it. Yeah, that's right. Not from lifting, but from just walking and not using good support in my shoes. This is the second set. Also, deep in the stretch, trying to pause a little bit in the hole there. These were not hard. I was just super kind of conscious of trying to make sure that I wasn't going to aggravate my knee and just wanted to get some reps in. The significant thing about this part of the video is that this is actually 2 training days in one, because I had intended to go to the gym on Friday, but I didn't because I was tired. So I stayed home and I slept. And the result of that is I smashed 2 sessions into one and did a lot of supersetting, which I never do. But you know what? It saved me a shitload of time. So maybe I should start doing it more often. This was the last set of these. I was really pleased with the depth and the pauses on this set. Looked good. Felt terrible. Definitely means you got to keep doing it this way. Yeah. Now, the next movement. I don't know what the hell it is about these. They suck. Here we go. Single leg belt squat. Yeah, split squats. These are so bad. I also elevate my heels. You can see there. I've got them up a little higher. But holy hell, these suck. I don't even know how else to say it. I don't do the dumbbell variation because, like I've said before, my balance is total ass. So this seems to kind of, work. It's a unilateral version of the squat, but it sets my legs on fire. Like I can't even tell you. If you have a belt squat, give it a try. Tell me if I'm just being a little baby, which is very possible. Like you'll notice here, I get to rep 7 and I just had to stop because like part of my legs were just quivering. They were shaking. So I was like, all right, I need a moment here. I took a couple of seconds and then I got back to it and I finished. So yeah, this was a lot of leg stuff. And you'll see after this, I had another leg movement. So that's what happens when you combine 2 training days into one. Yes, there I am fighting for my life. I should have edited that out. Anyway, all right. So I only did 2 sets of deficit RDLs on this day because, like I said, I'm doing all this other stuff, and I went up in weight to 175 pounds. I've done 3 sets of 10 for these of my own volition, but doing them for this program, yeah. Also, I'm trying to really be good at keeping my knees straight so that I can feel that stretch in my hamstrings. It was a little harder today because I was pretty fatigued, but just 2 sets had me wrecked. At the end of my second set, which you'll see in a second here, I was actually just like, damn, can I finish the rest of this training session? Because my hamstrings are really sore. And, that's what you want, but it's also had me thinking, like, am I not doing all of my RDLs correctly? Why don't they always feel this way? But then I shook that off because that's not really a good metric of whether or not your training is successful or not. It just happens that today I had like a better, feeling with my hamstrings and I could really kind of feel it a little bit more than usual. Also went up in weight about 10 pounds from last week. And yeah, that's again, part of training. You can't take one situation from last week and try to graft it onto your next training session. It just doesn't work that way. And a little bit of belt abuse for you because you guys know how much I love belt abuse. All right, this was the last set. It was okay. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to decide how heavy I'm going to go on these with this template because it's only an 8-week program, and then after that, I'm probably going to move over to the power building program because I kind of miss deadlifting from the floor. But I feel like I don't need to go too much higher. I might go up to 200 pounds at the most, assuming I can get there, and just really work on again, hamstrings, stretch, straight knees, butt to the sky, shoulders back, chest up. All those cues are going through my head while I'm doing these. Also trying not to die. But otherwise, I'm enjoying just, the challenge of doing a movement that normally I would think, oh, these aren't that hard. They're fucking destroying me is what they're doing, which is great, right? Making me harder to kill. And hopefully will translate over to my deadlifts from the floor when I start pulling from the floor again. But otherwise, these were okay. There were a couple of reps where I would have liked to have maybe gone a little bit deeper and kept my knees straighter, but we do what we can. Last bit of belt abuse. Wow! All right, what did we do next? Oh, this was one of the supersets. So these were supposed to be some flat dumbbell bench press, but I found that just a little bit of the curvature of the spine is actually not so bad, and I think the powerlifter in me just can't really help it, so I do it. This was a set of 15. I did 2 sets of these. I'm not going to show them both. Just this is the first one that I did, and I superset it a second in a minute with some pullovers. And I used a different attachment. Used one of the mag grip attachments. This was really light. I probably should have grabbed the 35s, but I don't know. I guess because I was supersetting, I thought, well, let's just see how it goes. And I didn't want to be in the gym forever just because I thought I was going to run an errand, which I didn't even end up running. But I like supersetting. I never thought I'd say that, but I do. Here we are, walking over to the lat raise machine. Kind of like this. Looks like some kind of weird, I don't know, Spike Jonze type of cinematography. I should do this more often. It's kind of fun. All right, so here we go. Setting up to do a lat pullover. All right, here we go. Got to get the perfect angle. Otherwise, what's the point of this, right? So I don't think I've ever used this attachment before for these. It was okay. Probably still prefer the rope or the what's the other thing that I use? Oh, this just like the straight bar, like this like a tiny straight bar. But like I've mentioned before, I think it's beneficial to mix up attachments instead of staying wedded to just like this one. Like, oh, I always do this one for this movement, and so if I can't get it, then I'm not gonna be happy. Like, well, yeah, maybe somebody else will be using that attachment. And also, it's just fun. Mix it up. I don't have any clue as to whether or not that provides different stimulus. I doubt it. The muscle can't tell any difference. And unless you're going wider or narrower, it probably doesn't do very much. I have noticed that when I use a narrower attachment, I do kind of feel a little bit of a deeper stretch because I'm able to kind of get my head through my shoulders a little bit more. But I don't know if it does anything. It's just, I just like the way it feels. So, mix it up, see what feels good to you. So this didn't feel bad. And I should also, full disclosure, say that I probably went too light on those. I only had like 95 pounds on the stack. Oopsie. All right, the last superset. Dumbbell incline curls. Super light. I went for 15 pounds on these, which is the most that I've gone on them because I'm starting to adapt to them, which is great. But the first time I did these, I think I only used 10 pounds and they left my biceps sore for like 3 days. That's not happening anymore. So that's a good sign. It's showing that I'm getting used to it. My body is adapting to this movement and that it's time to move up in weight. So we'll see how I recover from these. If it's well, then we'll go up to the next increment, which I think is 17.5. And here come the skull crushers, which I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at. They're still not my favorite. If I had to choose between these and the standing overhead tricep extensions, I like the tricep extensions more. Don't like training triceps, but I like that movement more. I just like the way it feels. It's a little smoother. But these aren't bad. It's supersetting them with curls was a nice change. And yeah, I think I might kind of keep that into the rotation. Of course, I'm also not going to be doing 2 days of training in 1 day. But you do what you got to do, and that's what I had to do. It worked out. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Tomorrow I might think otherwise. Last thing but not least, these leaning in dumbbell lat raises. Not too bad. Went up in weight on these a little bit too. Grabbed the 12.5s. It's kind of some strange increments for dumbbells, but you probably need to slow the eccentric a little bit more. The eccentric needs to be a little bit more controlled. But for the most part, I'm pleased with these. The last time I did them this way and I leaned into them like that, they left my shoulders pretty sore. So, again, is soreness any kind of a marker of activation? Probably not, but I don't know. I think it gives me some indication that my body's doing something differently, and I like that. I still do like the cable raise version that I've been doing, which starts behind your back. That's been just as much fun. Me broing the fuck out. All right, so yeah, that was it. A lot of talking, a lot of blabbing. Do pardon me if I didn't say anything interesting. I'll try to be more interesting next time. Hypertrophy Land continues to be treating me well, and we continue to show up. That's all you got to do, my friends. Show up for yourself, okay? Thanks for watching. Take care.